Okay, so I think I just realized how to get unlimited motivation to work, and I made this big thing, this big mind map to basically get all my thoughts out. And now I'm going to explain it, and I'm going to try to apply this and see if it actually works. And yeah, so basically, it's all about sacrifice. The less sacrifice you do, the lower effort that you're going to put into your work, obviously. Let me adjust this. And then you're going to have worse output because you're putting lower effort into your work, so you're not going to care about it as much. And it's going to kind of be lower quality, and lower quality is never good. And then you're going to lose against your competition because they're putting out better output and they're putting more effort into it because they're sacrificing more. So it's all about sacrifice in the end, basically. So I kind of made this chart to illustrate this to you. So this y-axis is more success and more money. Oh, I spelled money wrong. And then this is sacrifice as you go further that way. And basically, a good example of this is Sam Evans and Charlie Morgan. So they're all the way up here, and since they sacrificed a lot more, the more that they sacrificed, the more to 100% of everything that's not their work that they sacrificed, they got so much more success and money that it was exponential. Because most people, you're probably around from 1 to 2, right? Points 1 to 2. So you sacrifice a little bit. You're willing to sacrifice a little bit, and most people are willing to sacrifice a little bit, but not much. They don't care about it that much. So you probably fall in between one of these 2 points, and basically the more that you sacrifice, the more money and success that you're going to get because you have less competition. And I just kind of explained it right there. So you want to sacrifice more because that's going to lead to more money and success, because you're going to have less people who are sacrificing as much as you. So you're going to have less competition. So you're going to perform better and you're going to make higher quality stuff. Hopefully you get that. So you probably think, okay, but how do I sacrifice so much? I don't really feel like sacrificing that much, right? And there's two reasons because of this, right? So if money is necessary at the moment, then you're gonna need to rely off a strong desire. And if money is not necessary, then you're gonna need to do work that you love, and preferably you have both of these. But let's start off over here with the work that you love. So if you have work that you love, it's gonna be one more adjustment. It's gonna be so much easier to sacrifice because you want to do that thing anyways. If you do work that you love, it's gonna be so much easier to sacrifice because you actually like doing that thing. It's not gonna be kind of like daunting. It's not gonna be a trouble to sacrifice. You're actually gonna want to do that. So it's gonna be so much easier to sacrifice. And obviously, if you sacrifice more, that's gonna lead to more output because you're working on what you want to be working instead, which is the thing that you love, the work that you love that also brings in money. So you're gonna have more output, and then since you have more output, there's less luck involved because volume negates luck. That's what Alex Hormozy said. And if he's making tens of millions from business, then you should probably listen to him if you also want to make tens of millions from business. And because there's less luck involved, you're going to have a higher chance of success. So even if you don't get money, which is very unlikely because you're putting basically all that you have, you're putting all of that into your work, you love doing it anyways, right? Because money's not necessary. So it's not going to be trouble if you don't get money from it. So it's kind of like a safety net. So it's still a positive if you don't get any results because you're doing what you love. If you truly love it, then you're not going to complain all that much if you don't actually get the money from it, right? So you kind of need to find that overlap of something that you love and also something that you can monetize. Probably start with something that you love and see and find a way to monetize that. If you want me to make a separate video on that, I'll do a little bit of research and testing and thinking, and I can probably get a mind map out for that because I have some ideas around that. But if you sacrifice more, you're going to combine work with what you love, and you're never going to have to work again. There's like a quote that's like, combine work and play, or like leisure, into one, and you'll never have to work a day in your life. And yeah, both of these points, doing work that you love and having a strong desire, they both are going to lead to you staying between points 1 and 2 on the graph, and you're going to just blend in. You're not going to be special in any way. And if you're not special at all, then why are people going to buy from you? It doesn't make sense, right? You need to have some sort of edge against your competition, or else you're not going to sell anything. You're not going to have any value. And then the second part of this, which is if money is necessary at the moment, then especially you should be doing this, is having a strong desire. So basically, the way that this works is that an urgent desire for money, that's going to drive your sacrifice. So you're not going to actually need to do something that you love. The drive for money is going to be enough for you to sacrifice. Because if you have a weak desire, then you're going to have weak results, right? You're not going to want to work on it, on what you do as much. And this is where the whole quote, the depth of your struggle determines the height of your success, comes from. If you have more struggle, then you're going to have a stronger desire for money or whatever other goal that you have. And then since you put more work into what you're doing, you're going to have better results because you're putting more work into it. And therefore, you're going to create a better product. You're going to be a better entrepreneur and you're going to get better results. So that's going to be the height of your success. So if you're born middle or upper class, it's way harder to be dissatisfied than if you were born into like a chaotic single family household. Yeah, which I mentioned right here. So if you have a strong desire and not a weak desire like this, you're going to have strong results because it's like pulling a slingshot back all the way, right? If basically having a weak desire is like pulling your slingshot a little bit back, and then having a strong desire is like pulling it back all the way. Now when you let go after pulling it back just a little bit, you're just gonna, the ball in the slingshot's just gonna go forward a little bit. But obviously, but if you have the slingshot pulled back all the way back and you have the ball right there and you let go, boom, it's gonna go flying, out of the park. And that's basically results, right? So if you have a chaotic single parent household, whatever, then it's way easier to be dissatisfied, right? And this is where most successful people come from, hence Hamza, Eman, Goggins, whatever. Now you need to be grateful for your struggle for this reason, because actually, if you have struggle, and I don't mean to come off insensitive, if you have struggle, then you already had that struggle, and you're gonna have to live with that. So why not just be appreciative of it and find a way that it can actually benefit you, and actually be grateful for it, because that's determining the depth of your struggle. And so next, what I'm going to talk about is that most people are just happy enough with their life, right? They have all of their needs just enough met, and that means that they don't have any breaking point. They don't have any FT, which is F this event, right? They don't have that point where they, completely 180 their life. They're like, this is enough, right? They're just happy enough, right? And that's why you see so many people nowadays. They're complacent. They don't have any drive. They don't do anything. It's not their fault. Their life is just fine right now. It's just fine enough. So if their life was worse, then that's going to motivate them to have a much better life, right? But they're right in the middle here, and they don't have that drive to go all the way into a much better life, because that's not a huge distance, right? They don't have that desire to go that much. But if you're all the way back here and you want to get all the way here, that's a huge distance. That's a bunch of desire. But if you're right in the middle, that's not so much distance, like between where you are and where you want to be, and therefore you're not going to have as much desire. Simple as that. Well, that's not very simple actually. But if you have a strong desire and you have dissatisfaction with a vision board, so it sounds a little bit weird, but you can have a vision board or an alchemy of self. An alchemy of self, you can research this on your own. It's basically like affirmations. Basically, just kind of like a more chalked out version of a vision board. A vision board is just like what you want your future life to look like. And you can have this as a Chrome default tab. So when you open Chrome on startup, you can have a specific tab or set of tabs that open right away. This can be your vision board and or your alchemy of self. If you have a strong desire and dissatisfaction with a list of what you would get with the money instead of a vision board or an alchemy of self, then that's also going to create dissatisfaction for you. And or this can be whatever this could be whatever your goal is. So if your goal is like getting a good physique, then you could list why you want a good physique. But chances are that your goal right now is money, right? So these are going to be constant reminders for you, right? Especially if you have it as a Chrome default tab and you look at it multiple times a day like I do. Because people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught, right? So these are, looking at these things are very high value, because they're going to give you that motivation to work, because you're going to have a strong desire and you have an urgent desire for money or whatever else your goal is. And boom, you're going to have constant reminders. People need to be reminded more than they need to be taught, right? So people think that they need to keep learning new things, even if the new things that they learn are low value and they don't really apply to what their goal or goals are right now. And what they really need is to be reminded more, because if they be reminded more of high value things and they forgot that thing and they're just reminded of it, relearning it after you forgot it is just as good as learning it for the first time, because you forgot it. So people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught, because these are high value. Well, if you learn new things, then the value of those new things are going to be lower and lower and lower, because you already learned all the valuable things. So just learn the high value things that you already forgot. And then bad activities like bad habits and addictions and stuff like that are literally just you forgetting what you're grinding for, right? So if you have a clear goal and you have a clear set of goals and you have reasons why and everything, you're not going to have bad activities and you're not going to do bad things like that because you actually have a reason to work, right? This desire is going to be stronger than whatever dopamine that you get from this. So both of these are going to lead to, once again, not staying between points 1 and 2 on the graph and blending in. You do not want to be here. The only reason why these people don't get so much results is because they have so much competition with the other people that aren't willing to sacrifice all the way up to here, right? And if you sacrifice even more, if you find even more things to sacrifice, you keep inching this over and over and over, boom. Imagine how high it would be, like all the way up there. That's Jeff Bezos level and stuff, right? So sacrifice as much as you can if you want more results, because less people are willing to sacrifice that much, and you can do that by doing work that you love and having a strong desire. Preferably have both of these. This applies more if you need money right now. This applies more if you don't need money right now. Simple as that. And I'm going to be applying all of these concepts into my other YouTube channel, which is a faceless self-improvement YouTube channel. You can see the videos here, 5 subscribers. I'm going to keep working on this over time, and the views are going to keep going up and up and up, and you're going to be able to see that. So yeah, you're going to be able to see this over time. So this is kind of my new direction for the channel. You're going to be able to see this channel grow over time by me implementing the different productivity concepts that I discuss in these videos with these mind maps, and you're going to actually be able to see results from that, so that you actually have proof that you can apply this to yourself and it'll actually give you results. And yeah, I don't have anything to sell you yet. Bye.
I treat your hoe like a new pair of sneakers. She's special to me. Step up and get stepped on. New crepes on was a coat with a spice on the shoe. I'm intelligent. What with a vest on?